All right, Anastasia, it's very nice to meet you today. How are you?
I'm doing
I'm
good.
doing good. All righty. So I understand that you recently graduated from the University of South Florida in Tampa.
Yes.
Yes. All right. And while you were there, you were a student assistant. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the work that you did there?
While
Wow.
working for USF, I worked a lot with Microsoft, Excel, PowerPoint. I did a lot of compiling of the information, mostly for professors and professor data. I did work with confidential student information as well as professor information. I did have to go through files, organize them, put them into different categories.
Customer service, so you did work with the students, obviously.
Yes, as part of the front office position that I had, I was front officing for two professors as well as the department. And I handed out students both their tests and gave them information, office hours, scheduled appointments when they could come, answered the questions to the best of my ability.
And then before that, let's see here, you worked for a company called Exceptional Care, which is a caregiving um, company you explained in Tampa, and you worked in their office there.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did there?
For exceptional care, most of my work was project based. I did deal with the files because of the type of work that they do and because it is in the health industry. I did deal with confidential files as well as terminating files, processing new patients, new clients, new providers. I did work again in the project based part of it, whether that was with different payrolls and testing new systems, getting ready for the yearly overlook that they have
Mm-hmm.
and helping with that, terminating a lot of the files, re-looking over and making sure that everybody was in compliance, especially with the health industry. It's very important because the qualifications do change quite often.
Okay. Let's see here. And tell me about your computer skills because you did mention a couple times you worked with Excel. Like, what type of work did you do in Excel? Was it data entry? Were you creating charts? Were you creating reports and such?
With Excel, I did do a lot of data entry, mostly for exceptional care. With the university, I did a lot of chart making, inputting, formula making.
Okay, so you
I
know you formulas and such. Would
Yes,
you? How would you rate your expertise? Would you say more entry level? Would you say mid or advanced in Excel?
definitely mid. I did get my certifications
Oh,
for PowerPoint and Microsoft. However, I do think that if you're not constantly using it daily, you're not going to be an expert.
oh, of course. But when you get back into it, you kind of pick it
Yes.
up.
So currently, I do think that I'm definitely in the mid range.
Okay, great. That's good to know. What about like data entry? Do you feel like your typing skills pretty accurate when you're entering data?
Yes,
And I noticed that you did over 100 hours of community service and you worked with the disabled community. Not really part of the interview, but I'd love to hear a little bit about that. What did you do?
for community service, I did a lot of different things. I cleaned up the highways. I worked with the Feeding Tampa Bay. Um, oh gosh, what else did I do? I worked a lot with people, kind of helping the less fortunate, did as much as I could. As far as the disabled community, my I have a family member who is legally blind, and so I did a lot with that community going to the Lighthouse Center for the Blind, which is just the bigger organization where they work. I did learn about guide dogs and training that goes through it, and kind of just how they adjust to life in a new setting, especially because most of the people who do go through the training and such go blind, not from birth, but at a later point in life. And it is a big adjustment to kind of change the way that you do everything.
I can't even imagine. I mean, it's funny you say that. I actually looked into the guide dog program and learned about a little bit about what you were just talking about, and great organization. So, well, thank you for sharing. I'm going to stop this part of the interview, but don't go anywhere. We got a few more things to chit chat about.
Okay.